Good afternoon, everyone. For my semester long IoT Innovation Challenge project, I had been researching transportation, mobility, and pedestrian safety challenges in Alpharetta, Georgia, and the surrounding North Georgia region. Over the last 20 years, Alpharetta has transformed into one of Georgia's fastest growing economic centers. Major developments such as Avalon, downtown Alpharetta, Windward Parkway, and the State 9 route corridor have attached businesses, residents, and visitors from across the region. While this growth has created some tremendous economic opportunity, it has also increased pressure on transportation infrastructure. According to transportation planning studies conducted for the Windward Parkway and Highway 9 corridors, traffic congestion remains one of the most frequently cited concerns among residents and commuters. Daily traffic volumes along portions of Windward Parkway exceed 50,000 vehicles per day, while major intersections routinely experience delays during peak travel periods. At the same time, Alpharetta has invested heavily in walkability initiatives, trails, mixed use developments, and pedestrian friendly spaces. This means more interactions between vehicles, cyclists, and pedestrians than ever before. Now, before proposing solutions, I wanted to understand the scope of these challenges and determine whether current transportation systems are keeping pace with population growth and the changing mobility needs in the area. Transportation impacts nearly every aspect of daily life. The average American commuter spends approximately 54 hours annually sitting in traffic congestion, according to transportation research from INRIX. Traffic congestion costs the United States economy over $81 billion annually through lost productivity, increased fuel consumption, and travel delays. In Georgia specifically, the Atlanta metropolitan region consistently ranks among the most congested transportation corridors in the Southeast. And as Alpharetta continues to expand, transportation challenges are going to affect residents commuting to work, businesses relying on customer access, emergency response services, pedestrians using downtown areas, and visitors attending events and attractions. Research from smart cities suggests that communities experiencing rapid growth often face increasing congestion, longer travel times, and higher rates of vehicle pedestrian interactions if transportation systems fail to adapt. Understanding these types of challenges now can help identify future opportunities for safer and more efficient mobility. One important finding from my research is that transportation challenges are interconnected rather than isolated. They all kind of tie in with one another. And the first issue that came to my attention was traffic congestion, like we talked about before. Studies have indicated that traffic demand in the North Georgia region continues to increase faster than roadway capacity in many suburban growth corridors like Alpharetta. The second issue is pedestrian safety. According to the Governor's Highway Safety Association, pedestrian fatalities nationwide remain nearly 40-year highs, with more than 7,500 pedestrian deaths reported annually in recent years. The third issue has been distracted driving. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration estimates over 3,200 of roadway fatalities each year involve distracted driving behaviors, averaging about 9 per day. The fourth issue is walkability. Communities increasingly expect transportation infrastructures that support both automobiles and pedestrians. Finally, population growth creates additional stress on existing transportation systems. Together, these factors create a broader mobility challenge that extends beyond just simple traffic management. Because this project focuses on Internet of Things technologies, I wanted to research how connected infrastructure is being used worldwide. The National Institute of Standards and Technology defines smart city systems as interconnected networks that use sensors, communication technologies, and data analytics to improve public services. Some examples of this include traffic cameras, vehicle detection sensors, connected traffic signals, pedestrian monitoring systems, environmental sensors, and real time transportation dashboards. Research shows that cities increasingly rely on IoT systems because transportation data can be collected continuously instead of through occasional traffic studies. This allows city planners to monitor changing traffic patterns, identify safety concerns, and make evidence based decisions accordingly. And at this stage, I'm not evaluating any specific solutions right now. Instead, I'm just examining how cities can use data to better understand transportation challenges. And so I reviewed 23 academic, governmental, and industry sources at this point in my research, and three major themes consistently emerged. The first was traffic congestion. The article IoT Enabled Adaptive Traffic Management found that adaptive signal systems can significantly improve traffic efficiency by continuously adjusting signal timing based on real time vehicle conditions. Similarly, congestion prediction studies using IoT machine learning demonstrated prediction accuracies exceeding 90% in some transportation environments. Researchers repeatedly concluded that static traffic systems are less effective than the data driven approaches. The second theme was pedestrian safety. Research focusing on accident detection and intelligent transportation systems found that pedestrian safety remains a growing concern in areas experiencing rapid development. Several studies that I found highlighted the importance of understanding pedestrian movement patterns and identifying high risk crossing locations. Researchers also found that real time monitoring can help transportation agencies identify safety issues before severe incidents occur. The third was smart cities. The Sustainability Journal and NIST publications found that smart city investments increasingly focus on transportation because mobility directly impacts economic growth, environmental sustainability, and just the overall quality of life. A recurring conclusion across nearly all sources was that transportation planning is shifting towards continuous data collection and predictive analysis. Rather than reacting to congestion after it occurs, cities are attempting to play some damage control and anticipate problems before they happen. This represents a major shift in how transportation systems are managed compared to what they were 10, 15, 20 years ago. Now, the dominant viewpoint in my research strongly supports smart city technologies. Researchers argue that connected infrastructure provides better visibility into transportation systems, improved planning decisions, and just overall helps allocate resources more effectively. Several studies reported measurable improvements in traffic flow when adaptive systems were implemented. However, when you look on the other side of things, alternative viewpoints also come into play. Privacy concerns were pretty prevalent. Researchers question how transportation data should be collected, stored, and protected. Cybersecurity is another issue. As infrastructure becomes increasingly connected, vulnerability may expose critical transportation systems to some digital threats. Costs also present their challenges. Smart transportation projects can require millions of dollars in infrastructure investments, software development, and ongoing maintenance. Many researchers emphasize that technology alone cannot solve transportation problems without strong urban planning and community engagement. To best understand the broader environment surrounding this issue, I conducted a PESTEL analysis. For the political side of things, federal transportation grants and Georgia Department of Transportation initiatives influence project funding. For economic, traffic congestion costs billions annually through productivity losses and fuel consumption. Social, population growth increases demand for safe, accessible, and efficient transportation systems. Technological side of things, advances in IoT, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and 5G communications continue expanding transportation capabilities. Environmental, congestion increases vehicle emissions and fuel usage, contributing to sustainability concerns. On the legal side of things, cities have to address privacy regulations, data governance, and transportation safety requirements. For comparison, my research also examined smart city transportation initiatives around the world. Barcelona implemented smart traffic systems that reduced congestion while improving urban mobility. Singapore utilizes extensive sensor networks and intelligent transportation technologies to manage one of the world's most advanced transportation systems. Amsterdam has invested heavily in multimodal transportation infrastructure and supports both vehicles and pedestrians. Within the US, Columbus, Ohio received federal smart city funding and implemented connected transportation technologies to help improve mobility. Also in the US, in Chattanooga, Tennessee, they've become known for integrating smart infrastructure with transportation modernization efforts. And here in Atlanta, they've explored smart corridor initiatives that leverage data collection and connected traffic systems. So, a really common theme among these examples is that successful cities prioritize data collection, their stakeholder engagement, which we'll talk about next, measurable outcomes, and planning for the long term. And so, as I move into this next phase of my research, stakeholder engagement becomes increasingly important. Primarily, my stakeholders include residents. I need a wide range of locals who have been around for a long time to see Alpharetta develop, and new residents to see how the area compares to where they came from. Cyclists and frequent walkers and runners, those who are some of the most exposed to the potential dangers of traffic. Commuters, people who come to Alpharetta for work and those who leave the city for their jobs. Local businesses, those directly affected by these problems. Public safety officials, the ones that are boots on the ground seeing these problems unfold on a daily basis. Transportation planners, city leadership as well. And based on the feedback that I got from my AI librarian consultation earlier this week, I need to collect more primary research. So, my goal is to gather approximately 50 or so survey responses and conduct interviews with transportation professionals, public safety officials, and other members of the community, as this is going to help validate whether my findings from my research aligns with local experiences in Alpharetta. And that appears to be the case thus far. As you can see on the right side, a quote from an Alpharetta resident that I talked to of over 20 years now. Miss Sylvia said, "It feels like every year more and more people make their way to Alpharetta, but there have not been a lot of advancements to accommodate for the traffic and the safety of our neighbors. Long crosswalks across downtown can sometimes be overwhelming, and I've seen my fair share of near accidents. Something needs to change soon." And so, thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to all of your feedback.